Let's fly down the BP Ultimate Grid, and Tim Edgell on pole alongside Kane Scott. Behind them, look for this battle, the championship contenders, Craig Baird and John McIntyre.
Next row sees Andy Knight, and then, of course, Andy Booth, the two Andys. Andy Booth having a disastrous weekend by all accounts, not quite up there where he'd like to be. We then have John Penny, an outstanding result, and, of course, one of the boys battling for the top three in the championship, Eddie Bell.
Hayden McKenzie and Clark Proctor, the lads that, gosh, they want it to rain. They love it when it's wet. Not luck so far for them, though. Nick Ross and Simon Richards, row 6.
We then have Darren Henderson lined up next door to Matt Lockwood, but unfortunately Darren Henderson, flat tyre in the warm-up lap, starting from pit lane. We then move back to Paul Manuel, another disastrous weekend for him, with Chris Pither beside him.
And Chris Pither, accident damage in the first race. John Hepburn and Christina are also having a bit of panel damage. David Hopper alongside his teammate Shannon Coker.
We move on to Andrew Anderson, another guy having a disastrous weekend, and the returnee Alan McHarrison. Followed then by Dale Williams and Angus Fogg. Mechanical gremlins in race 1, all the work to do in race 2.
We're getting set for the start. Race 2 at the Mad Butcher 200 of the BNT V8s. If it's anything like race 1, we're in for a wild ride. Sit back and enjoy. The lights are green, and Tim Edgell gets the edge on Kane Scott. A beautifully timed start from him, but it's very, very close, as you'd expect, heading into turn 1, and Johnny McIntyre heads to the outside, with Craig Baird taking the inside. Two different approaches from the championship contenders, and on board there with Johnny McIntyre. Oh, living dangerously.
Bit of a hit there. Kane Scott's there, Craig Baird's in there too somewhere, but Johnny's got this position here. Interestingly, Kane Scott being shuffled back with Craig Baird now up to 3rd place.
You don't want to get in the way of these guys. They're fighting for the championship, and I was seeing how hungry they are there, but two very different takes on turn 1. Both, you could say, have been very successful.
They have been. Craig Baird has to process Johnny McIntyre. We know Johnny McIntyre is struggling for speed, and for him or Kane Scott have any shot at winning this race, they've got to get past him.
I love that process. Sounds like he's going to chew him up and spit him out.
That's exactly what he hopes to do, Sean.
But in front, it's Tim Edgell as we head through lap run round Higgins. And there we see it's all close. Andrew Anderson looks like he's having trouble back there in traffic, but Tim Edgell, the wipers on. Has he bumped the switch, or are there spots of rain out there?
No, look, he's probably just bumped the switch in the haste of the moment to get that first lap done. But interestingly, Eddie Bell has got in front of John Penny, which is critical, because those guys did have a good battle going on in race 1.
Yes, right through the race, and here you can see Andy Knight.
Oh, here we go down the front straight. Oh, no!
That's Clark Proctor. Oh.
And that's Matthew Lockwood. That's just guys not quite understanding where each other is on the place, and that could have been disastrous.
This is Matthew Lockwood, so successful in the Utes. They like to bump and grind.
Yeah, different category, and they can't really do that, but he was just dragged to the inside, and we saw that unfold. But Angus Fogg making up quantum places in the first lap.
That's the only major incident so far compared to race 1. They've been very, very well behaved, and there is the lead holding of Andy Booth, that chasing pack, but she's still very, very tight, and you get the feeling. Look at Angus Fogg, though. From the back, he's mid-pack now, making huge progress after breaking that axle up to 13.
He started 22nd already up to 13, so it's 10 cars in one lap. But he's going to make inroads here. We see going past John Hepburn, which we know didn't work successfully last time.
Oh, yes, now remember in Tiburon that John Hepburn nudged him in the corner. The LG Falcon went off. More misery for Angus Fogg, but he knows he's got a rocket, but he's just got to finish the race. That's the first thing.
He does, and essentially the first part of the equation for Angus is start to get through the majority of the traffic in the first 2 laps, then start picking them off one by one because he's got the laps to do it.
Now we just saw there Andrew Anderson. We've been under instructions not to talk about him. Yeah. He's blaming us. He says there's a curse every time he's talked about. He goes off. We're only reacting.
The commentator's curse, have seen it enough times before, but he goes Eddie Bell. That's a good strong run here with Andy Booth. Now Andy's still on the preferred line, but Eddie's shown a lot of car speed early on in this race.
He's also showing a complete lack of fear, isn't he?
Well, he has to, Sean. Of course, yellow flag's been waved in that corner, actually. So, what's ahead of us?
I can't wait to see, to be quite honest with you. And there it is, this battle group of Andy Booth, Eddie Bell, Andy Knight in there as well. Behind them, I think that's Teddy, possibly.
Eddie Bell's battling for the championship here. He's battling essentially for 2nd place. Bit of tyre smoke up front. That's Craig Baird locking up. He has to get in front of that Johnny McIntyre. And, of course, Kane will be there to pounce should those two make an error.
Great view on board Big Ben Commodore there. You can just see this lead group, how far they're pulling away. And as we've just been on board with Andy Booth, him and Andrew Knight
look
under
at this,
investigation.
Craig Baird, sorry, Sean, straight through on the inside. Johnny McIntyre returning the favour. Wow, that's just seat of the pants stuff.
I don't think this is done at all. Yes, as I was saying, Booth and Knight under investigation for an incident at turn 7.
You just can't help but think the beneficiary of all this is going to be Kane Scott. Kane's going to the left, he's going to the right. He's just waiting for these guys to make it instant. Now, Craig Beard's on the outside. He can't live there.
Like a seagull just waiting to pick up the scraps, isn't he, Kane Scott?
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. Craig's got the preferred line here.
Oh, and the bump there. G'day, Craig. It's Kane here. Just letting you know I'm right behind you.
Yeah, certainly does. But these two guys taking speed out of each other may allow Johnny McIntyre to go. But Johnny's struggling in that car after that big hit he had at that Timaru. Just doesn't have the confidence in it. And that's why he's just a little bit off the pace and what we expect.
It's a great view on board the Fujitsu Falcon of Kane Scott there. He really wrestles the wheel. And there's the replay there. So Beardo gets it from... Matt goes very wide there, doesn't he? So there's no love lost between these two.
No, there's not. It's not the natural line, but it's probably the natural line when you're trying to defend someone of the calibre of Craig Beard. But you see this battle here. This is the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th starting to establish itself now. I think Eddie Bow's going to have to make a pass on Andrew Booth because that Commodore is very quick for 3 or 4 laps and then it starts struggling for grip after that. So Eddie's going to be ready to pounce because he has to get back on top in front of Johnny McIntyre and Craig Beard for that championship. When
you look at Tim Edgell, though, what a margin he's got. 2.2 seconds. He's ahead of Johnny McIntyre. And speaking of Johnny Mac, we're on board with him now. And due to the way he's been racing with the fella you can see behind him, United Video Falcon of Craig Beard, he's under investigation, Johnny Mac, for driver behaviour. Not completely unexpected. We've been talking about it from race 1. We've seen it in race 2. So they will pick up on that. And once the teams have been warned by the officials, they have to do something. They'll either clean their act up or they're going to go to the next step, which is a drive-through. Johnny cannot afford for that to happen. Be fair to say his approach so far, in a way, attack is the best form of defence. It is, but you can't be too defensive while you're doing it as well, and that's why we've seen the warning go down to the team. Look at the gap from the on board now with Johnny McIntyre, the gap to Tim Edgell. Well, these guys are fighting. Tim's just cruising away, and as we've said before, when he's clear, he's got no one to hit. Tim's very fast, but look, this trio, they're not separated at all, and Kane Scott is still just loitering, isn't he? He has. You'll see in the middle of the corner there that Johnny McIntyre's car got sideways. You'll see Craig Beard's dropped off a bit, so you can't help but think just off camber in the middle of the corner, Craig would have given Johnny a bit of a tap. Yeah, so this is far from over. These are the two cars fighting for the championship, Johnny McIntyre and Craig Beard. And look at the move. We're on board now with Kane Scott. And he's taken the outside, though. It's a hard move to make stick. But he knows he's there now. Can he cross over? Or under, as it is. Even if you cross over, he's still not on the preferred line. Oh, here we go. This is quite a big hit. David Hopper. And Christina Rohr. Now, will this bring out the safety car? I dare say it will because of where Christina's beached. It's coming on the front straight. It's a fast part of the track. And if they can't extract that car out, then the safety car will be deployed. You just saw there when the camera moved over how close the action is going to be to where these two went off. And just a tangle there. Christina had complained about cars backing into her was the quote she had. I don't know what she meant by that, but yes, double yellows now. So this is going to bring everything nice and close. Turn 7 is the point of all the action. Yeah, turn 7 is where Christina is. We can't see if that car's beached, but double yellow flags means that it's an extreme danger to the cars. It's only one process short of bringing out the safety car. They want this race to continue because they can see it's good class action. So hopefully they will resist the temptation to bring a safety car out. Half distance now in race 2 of the BNT V8s. And you'd have to say, though, a safety car now would just set this race alight, though, bring them closer together. At the moment, Tim Edgell's very comfortable. He's getting stretched in his lead, just a couple of tenths here and there ahead of Johnny McIntyre and Craig Beard. But you have to say their battle has hurt them. And there's Nick Ross and another battle group there, Hayden McKenzie, Andrew Anderson, and there's Clark Proctor. Had a bit of a hairy moment at the start. Andrew Anderson's mobilising the road up because this is a battle for 10th place at the moment. So Andrew started towards the back of the field, so he is making inroads. Yes, this race is literally far from over. Back with more after this. And as we predicted earlier, the safety car is out, so this is going to compact the field now. And I think it's actually going to make the race better because we've got so many close battles and it's going to be all on again. Because if anything like the first 6 laps, it'll be awesome.
I can't help think it's going to be status quo after the first lap. Tim Edgell just disappeared. Craig and Johnny McIntyre and Kane Scott will take up the battle, and they've got that much more car speed than the guys behind them, Andy Booth and Eddie Bell, that they'll just pull away.
You would have to feel for this fella, Tim Edgell. He's had such a wonderful weekend so far. His first pole position, his first win. He's leading this race just perfectly. Now they're going to close up on him, and for that moment, Johnny McIntyre will be able to focus on him instead of Beardo, just for that moment, although you imagine Beardo will be focusing on Johnny Mac.
Yes, but looking at it.
And yes, it's going to be incredible on the restart. I cannot wait for it. Mercedes safety cars in, and we've got the restart. Tim Edgell off, and Craig Baird makes the jump. And it looks like that's not all for Johnny McIntyre. Andy Booth timed it perfectly as we head into turn one.
Yeah, Craig Baird got a sensational start, but just fell back in the clutches again. If he can live there, he's going to get the position. Eddie Bell, that's nothing. That's just minor. You've got Matthew Lockwood in the dramas again, but it's what's happening up front here. Craig Baird, no, didn't. Johnny McIntyre defended it. Wow.
Well, we expected it to be all on from the restart, and it is. And just looking where Andy Knight is back there in fourth or fifth, he said the highlight of race one for him was watching this battle between Baird and McIntyre. He said it was quite enjoyable. You've got to imagine he's enjoying it again now, because there's three of them at it, because Kane Scott was mixing up, and big lock up there from Tim Edgell.
Well, and it's going to hurt him dearly. Actually, Johnny McIntyre may get a run on him here, but Eddie Bell, that car we see smoking, that could have big complications for the championship. That T will not bring that car in. They'll wait till the smoke that is. It's part of the bodywork rubbing on it. At some stage, it will stop smoking. Hopefully. Oh, look now, Tim Edgell, second time we've seen him lock the brakes. Now, is that car in trouble, or is he just trying to push so hard to get that gap back again that he's just creating the problem himself?
I'm just trying to count the cars, because just a wee way back from this lead pack is Angus Fogg, who started 23rd.
Sean, Craig Baird got in front of him. Now, what happens to Kane Scott? Does he slot down the inside? No,
this is far from over. Johnny McIntyre, another tap there for Craig Baird. The gloves are well and truly off between Beardo and Johnny Mac. And Angus Fogg, as I was saying, up to 7th. What a drive he's had.
Also, keep in mind, Andrew Anderson have another sterling job. Started at the back, and he's up to 10th place.
We just saw Fogg go past there. He's hunting Andy Booth now. A lot of smoke further back. We're on lap 10 of 12. We've just had the restart from the safety car. It's closed everyone up. No holds barred. Tim Edgell's bit of a ropey start, but he's getting it together now, and there we see Andy Booth fighting just to hold off Angus Fogg, and I got the feeling he's not going to do it.
You just can't help but think that the smoke we saw from Tim Edgell's car, he was trying to get that jump on the guys behind him while they were battling, and was just pushing it a little bit too hard.
Well, this has got to be the drive of the race. Angus Fogg up to 6th, started 23rd. Impressive stuff in the LG Falcon. Now he's hunting Andy Knight. Although you've got to say that restart from Andy Booth was
here we go,
special for the
lead.
moment. Look at
Craig
this.
Baird. He's got it.
Oh, he needed a bit of help to hold himself on the track, and Tim played his part. The kind of moving barrier, but Craig Baird has taken the lead.
He just come from nowhere, didn't he? That's a brake lock up. That's Craig. He's just
shows
trying
how
to
hot he's going.
Yeah, it is. He is in a hurry now. But now 3 corners to go.
Now that is such a crucial pass. Remember, this is the second to last round of the championship. Craig Baird leads. Johnny Mac lost his lead in Timaru. He had to make up ground this weekend, and so far Craig Baird has only stretched the lead. So a massive, massive pass this is. And there we see the replay. Both cars drifting. Craig Baird just keeps it there. Tim Edgell, a handy wee moving block, held him on the track, and he's through.
He did. Car's got a little bit sideways, so probably they won't take too much consideration in that. But Craig Baird now disappearing. I can't help but thinking maybe Tim Edgell's car hasn't got the balance back after the restart like he had for the first section.
Now, I'm going to say this is so fascinating up front, but further back is the race. And there's the last lap. Andrew Anderson, who's had all the heartache, and I'm almost reluctant to mention his name, but he is up to 9th. There are some amazing drives right through the field.
Now, yellow flag in the background, so these guys have to stay status quo. Johnny McIntyre cannot do that pass. Okay, that pass will have to be readdressed, as we've just seen.
There is just no way through for Johnny McIntyre. Tim Edgell holds on to second. This is the last lap of race 2. Huge implications for the championship. And Kane Scott, he's still hunting there. Earlier in the race, he was just waiting to pick up the scraps of Beardo and Johnny Mack entangled. Now he's just going for Johnny Mack. He's alongside him. That car's always been quick, the Fujitsu Falcon.
It has been. He just hasn't had the fortunes that he was hoping to get to try to do back-to-back championships. But Johnny McIntyre still on the third line. But watch for the crossover right now. No. See what happened there, Sean? Kane hit the curb on the inside, threw the whole balance of the car away, kind of deleted that advantage of doing the crossover.
He hasn't given up. He was right on his rear end, and he's hunting now, looking to dive under again. Can he, or go around the outside? Oh, big sideways there from Craig Baird. I think he's having fun as he gets set to cross the line. And victory for Craig Baird stretches his lead in the championship. Tim Edgell second, Johnny McIntyre third. Big hit for him. Great effort from Kane Scott and Andy Knight. And Andy Booth finishing in 6th, Top Holden. So he's already New Zealand Order of Merit. How's he going on this Order of Merit? Craig Baird increases his championship lead ahead of Tim Edgell in race 2. Johnny McIntyre third, Kane Scott. Andy Knight staying solid in 5th. Andy Booth, Top Holden. And Andrew Anderson, the big mover, coming from right near the back to finish 8th.